Hello folks, the Y Guy here again. Welcome to my home on this very cold winter day up here in the mountains. Hey, the name of this video is called The Y Guy Exposes Liberal Thinking Within Christendom. You know, first I've got to point out that most people within the liberal mindset automatically assume that Christians are conservative. You know, and that they're in direct opposition to liberal thinking. Well, on the political scene, this is probably true, you know, but in the thinking part, okay, in the carnal mind, this couldn't be further from the truth. Allow me to explain it this way. I'll give an analogy here of what I've experienced or witnessed on the news, and then I'll give you what I've experienced personally within Christendom. In my opinion, that's very important, okay, the in my opinion part, the average liberal simply goes along with the crowd. It just seems that way when I'm watching the news, and they seem to draw the strength and from the emotions of the others around them, as well as, you know, the leaders of their group. And in most cases, when a liberal is asked to give, you know, specific details on what they believe and why, you know, I've seen it from news commentators and stuff, and supply some kind of evidence that they have for their beliefs, they usually have little to nothing to offer. They just don't, and because it's based on their beliefs and the beliefs of others. And when facts and real evidence is presented, they just simply call those facts and evidence a lie. All right, and you're going to see where I'm going with this within Christendom. All right, now people like them within the government, they feel that they know what's best for everyone else. It seems to, okay, it just appears to be that way. And if anyone disagrees with them, let them be damned. I'm going to use that term again here in a moment. So, you know, it's kind of promoted, at least it's perceived as promoted as don't think for yourself, you know, just go with the flow and let the government regulate your life, and being independent is a threat to their power. That's what it seems like. Now, usually the conversation results in them getting emotionally defensive, and they resort to name calling, or they simply tell you to F off. Now, I have personally encountered the exact same way of thinking from the Christian community as well. And the average Christian simply goes along with the crowd, drawing strength from the emotions of others and their leaders. And I know this because I used to do it. For over 30 years I did it. And everyone around me did the exact same thing. I was one of the leaders they drew strength from, okay? So I know what I speak, all right? So whenever I ask for specific details on what they believe and why they believe it, that's why I'm called the Y Guy, you know? And what evidence they have for their belief, especially in their belief in hell, they usually have little to nothing. Because it's faith-based, they say. But you know what? It's really blind faith-based. And when facts and real evidence is presented, they simply call it a lie. You see, it sounds real familiar with what I see on the news, with the people in the world. Now, those folks and others like them in church, they honestly do, and I did at that time, they honestly feel what's best for everyone, for all of mankind. All right, at least with our government, they just say what's best for Americans. But the church goes a step further and they say what's best for all mankind. And if anyone disagrees with them, let them be damned. Literally. In a place called hell. You see what I'm getting at when I'm saying liberal thinking within Christendom? So then it seems to be, maybe not maliciously or intentionally, but it seems to be promoted that you don't think for yourself, that you need to just go with the flow, you know, and let the pastor or the priest regulate your life, or the rules or the whatever, the laws that are laid down, because being independent is a threat to their power and their authority. In closing this video, usually the conversation that I have with Christians, it results in them getting emotionally defensive, just like the people on the news. And they resort to name calling, just like the people on the news. Or they simply tell you to F off in a Christian sort of way by calling you a heretic, a false teacher, deceived. It's interesting. That's ironic. I just find that ironic now when I look back on that. Well, Christians have more in common with liberals, who they consider their enemy, because most Christians consider liberals their enemy, which is ironic, again. Anyway, Christians have more in common with liberals than what they think. If you disagree with my opinion on this video, give me a thumbs down and apply a comment of disagreement. If you agree with it, give me a thumbs up and give me a polite comment. Well, usually if you agree, it usually is a polite comment, but you know, or add to it. Add to what I've said, because I'm in the process of learning right along with all the rest of all humanity, okay? And look me up, consider subscribing to this channel. Also look me up on Facebook under a group, a private group called the Y Guy Group. I also go by an avatar name of Jonathan Jones. It's not my real name, that's why I just messed up saying that. Anyway, that's open public timeline. Look me up there. Thank you for viewing.